Hello, good day, folks. Here. Oh, I'm getting ready to get up in a few minutes here. I've been laying down here. Bed is so cozy, it's getting kind of cold outside. But I wanted to do a video here, and excuse me for being in bed, but I just figured that I'd shoot a quick video real quick to kind of get this, I guess, rant, if you will, off my chest. But I want to kind of do a video about a subject that I guess I talked about maybe years past or years ago. As far as its relevance, as far as what's going on today, especially, as far as recent events that happened in my city. I'm getting pretty tired of actually having to keep waking up, to news that, our young community, our young black community is, constantly killing off each other. And basically, it's getting to the point where, it's like everyday news where when you hear of someone losing their life, it's like, oh, well, what's next? It's like we've become immune to the news of young folks killing each other, young black folks killing each other. And basically, it's getting to the point where, it's like I don't really want to turn on the news in the morning when I get up, or I don't want to, look at what's going on social media, because it's always got to be something bad that's going on with our young people. And I always say, and I always will constantly say, I don't know what's going on with this newer generation. I understand that generations are not the same, but in meaning that, of course they're different and that there's something different about them. But with this generation here, it's like it seems like, and I'm not trying to speak negativity or anything on them, but it's like everything that they do or involved in is just pure destruction. And basically, I don't understand why. Well, yes, I do. I guess let me take that back. I kind of do understand why, because again, the Bible tells us for the most part, that the world is getting wickeder and wiser, and these newer folks or newer generations of young folks that are coming up in the world are, for the most part, they have so much brains, but they're just dumb. You know what I mean? It's like they got so much common sense, but at the same time, they don't have any street smarts. They don't have any wisdom. And because of that, they're killing off each other. I did a video, I guess, a couple of years ago when the news first broke out about, I think, was it the George Zimmerman thing, where he actually followed that young black man inside, or has followed him and actually profiled him as being a thug because he was wearing a black hoodie. And, he went in and bought some Skittles and an iced tea, and he kept following and profiling him, thinking that he was up to no good. And basically, we all know how that story actually played out. And it actually brought a huge divide in, across America, meaning black folks against white folks. And it's pretty much the same today, but this is where it actually started to pick up steam once again. And basically, we know how the outcome of that was, where he got off, the court system found him not guilty, even though he is still guilty in the court of public opinion. But this was, for the most part, the significance about that was, for the most part, the beginnings of the movement that was called Black Lives Matter. Now, in the beginning, when this particular movement came about, which of course we know that was started with black folks, or black women, I think it was. I think, were they lesbians? I don't know. But anyway, they actually started this movement in response to let the world know that, hey, our lives matter, meaning black lives. We already understand, the history and the traditions behind white privilege and how society will go to the death to protect white lives. But what about black lives? What about us? Our lives matter as well. That was the idea, if you will, behind the philosophy as far as what that stood for, and that black people are we should be recognized and actually be known for actually having valuable lives as well. But as you begin to really go into it and really look into how this was actually used politically, and how it's being used, as far as a tool of, it's just like, to me, it's just like more of a misguided tool that's being used to, I guess, gain sympathy and all of this other type of stuff. And the reason why I'm saying that, and again, I may anger some people in this video, but a lot of people know I really don't care about how you feel, because if you choose to click on the video, then that's the risk that you take. You don't know what bag I'm going to come out of. But anyway, there is no way that I'm going to go. Now, when the movement first started, it was okay for what it was, because again, it was something to be believed in. Our lives matter. Okay, our lives is just as valuable as white folks. But when you constantly are living in a society where Black lives matter, and yet still you are still killing off your fellow black man, then I don't believe in that anymore. I can't believe in that anymore. We cannot ask people to actually hold our lives in high regard when we can't even look at each other and love each other and actually sit down and talk things out without having to pull out a gun and want to shoot each other. That lets me know right there that this whole thing is nothing more than it's a joke. Now, when people begin to first really understand the significance of it and seeing how it's being misused and how to gain some sort of edge on certain situations, for the most part, they were criticized. They were saying, well, oh, how dare you say, that black lives don't matter and you're black as well and this, that, and the other. Well, I'm going to be the one that second that emotion. I'm going to say that I really, truly don't believe in it as much, because now, again, anytime you have, and this is the reason why, and I spoke of this in videos in the past too, anytime you have a situation where there's a white man that kills off a black man, that's when you see all of these marches, all of these protests, all of these, these events where people are out there holding, posters and everything, even on highways and byways, talking about, our lives matter. But when you see another black man kill another black man, I don't care if it could be over something so silly. You don't hear nobody say anything. It's crickets. You don't hear anything. You don't see, and the thing about it, again, they may mention it on the news and it'll be a very short clip, and that's the end of it. And they've gone on to something else. Where's the Al Sharptons? Where is that other black lawyer that is always so famous to come running to the defense of black families that's been done wrong by white society? Where is he? Ken Crumpton or something like that. I don't know what his name is, but you all know who he is. You all know who I'm talking about. I cannot take something seriously when we don't even take ourselves seriously. So the thing about it again is that I don't want, people to misconstrue the message of this video. But the issue is that when you stand for something, you have to be about it all the way, not just because of how it feels, how you feel it would make you look and how you want to use it to make yourself look better. Because again, it's nothing more than something, it's politics. It's all about politics, trying to gain the edge over somebody else. But again, it's like I'm getting tired of, this Black Lives Matters crap only when it actually concerns white and black, but not when it's black on black. And the thing about it is that it's not too many black folks left because we're killing off each other. Now, this latest incident that we had here in my city, and again, I don't know if it was made, headlines or whatever. I don't think it did, but they had, I guess, some people that were actually, again, they were talking and they got in an argument, as it always is. And then one person pulled out a gun and shot the other one, and, the other one passed away or whatever. But again, that was the end of it. Nobody said anything else, and it was just, normal business as usual. And I hate that philosophy, but that's pretty much what's going on. People, black folks, don't really respect each other enough, but yet still they want other people to respect them. And the thing about it, you don't get my respect. Because again, my life does not matter to you. And the thing about it again is that I believe honestly that the world really laughs and really, really hopes that black folks keep killing off each other, because again, there won't be many of us left to do anything. That's why, I just remain silent and I just listen and I observe. I don't really say much, but I just kind of just observe what's going on, because it's crazy. It's very crazy. As far as, people are still trying to push this agenda about Black Lives Matters, but yet still you are so quick to want to pull out a gun and kill off your fellow brother. And then yet still you want to actually be all about the movement. I can't respect that because it's just hypocrisy. I can't. And you have to call things as you see them. That's the whole reason, and that's the whole purpose of things, and that's the reason why we have such a fight on our hands here intellectually, is because, again, a lot of these things we are starting to really realize when we think about it, that it's not what it really is supposed to be. And that matter is, the Black Lives Matter movement is one of those things that it started off well-meaning. It was good for what it was in the beginning, but now it's like, it's not really what it was all about. You know what I'm saying? I can't even get my words right, but you pretty much know what I'm trying to say. It was meaning one thing in the beginning, but now it's like it's meaningless now, because basically, again, you talk about Black Lives Matter, man, people look at you like you crazy. And if anything, it would incite another riot. And like I said, they had other things on there about Blue Lives Matter and all this other type of stuff, it's this, that, and the other. And there was a big whoopla about that too. You even had some people that lost, I guess, their jobs and stuff because of, the politics that goes behind these different movements and stuff like that. I remember one lady who actually did reality TV on MTV. She lost her contract with MTV to star in their shows because she says that all lives matter. And then again, and it was a public outcry regarding that because they learned to look at it from the standpoint that she was ignoring the significance of Black lives. Well, the issue is that when Black folks actually value the significance of other Black folks, then you have something to talk about. And again, she was right. All lives do matter. Black lives, think about it, everybody matters. So there's no, I don't understand the philosophy. Okay, all lives matter. You're going to get mad and fire this young lady from her job, all because she did not take the time to really focus in on Black lives. Black lives do matter, yes, but also everybody matters. And just because she wanted to say that, you have a whole bunch of Black folks that took offense to it, and now she's out of a job. But yet still, Black folks are still cleaning up Black folks every day. Make that make sense to me, please. Events that I'm pretty sure that you all know about regarding a young lady. I think her name was Shanquella. And again, the story is still fluid. And basically, they're still actually going over, crime scene evidence and trying to figure out exactly what's going on. But it really broke my heart. I mean, I know I had seen her picture on my Facebook feed and on my Instagram feed, and I really did not know anything about her. I just thought that this was another Instagram model or whatever. I mean, she's a beautiful young lady. And like I say, I don't mean any disrespect by that, but that's what I thought it was, just another one of those pictures. But, I happened to kind of research because the issue is I knew it was something going on, because normally when you see something on Instagram, okay, fine. Okay, you see a picture on Instagram. Then you turn around and see the same picture on Facebook. Then hey, something's going on. There's something more to, this picture. So I began to read and study, what was going on with this young lady. And then, like I said, in the tragic events of what she endured when she was, I guess, on a trip in Mexico. And basically, I'll put the story up there for you all to see it. If you want to pause and read it, that's totally up to you. But I'll digress. But anyway, I was reading the story, and basically this woman was beaten to death by her quote unquote so-called friends. And the sad part about it is that some of her friends actually stood by and watched this girl get kicked and all of this other type of stuff. And they're up there yelling, talking about something. At least get up to defend yourself or whatever. I mean, I don't understand this generation of young folks. That's why I am so glad I don't associate with any of them. I don't have any of them as friends because they are too immature. They don't know they don't know what it's about. Their minds are weak. They're all about themselves. They're very selfish, and they are very competitive individuals, even when there is no need to be. But the way that they said that this young lady died at the hand, and they actually had, I guess, I don't know if the person was filming it or not, but he was just sitting by just, and other was just sitting by just watching this girl get kicked and prodded and all this other type of stuff. And like I say, I mean, and they left her there to die. Now, we may have all of our theories and everything, and we may not know the whole story of what's going on, but other than what, we've learned from social media. But I will say this, I know a couple of things about black females. And the thing about it, there are some simple truths, when it comes to, these type of situations that we know about. One thing that I can say for sure with confidence is that black females, they look at each other as competition. I'm just going to be real. They don't value each other as you would think they do. Here we go again, the Black Lives Matter concept. And the thing about it again is that they will do anything to stand out over the other person. Now, usually when you see two females going at it or fighting or whatever, it's always over one thing and one thing only, a man. Or I should say more specifically, a penis. I'm just going to keep it real. It is what it is, right? That's what you come here for, right? For me to keep it real. And that's what I'm going to do. Now, even though we don't know the full details as far as what went on, as far as what caused this particular issue to happen, you can pretty much believe that it had something to do with something having to do maybe with a relationship, jealousy, or some sort of thing having to do with, some sort of social aspect of living. I'll put it like that. I mean, like I said, I went through her pages, the young lady who's passed away, and I seen some of the photos that she taken. Again, I'm not trying to judge nobody, but you have to be real about what you see. One thing about it is that it's okay to take face value and just look at things and really go off of what other folks say. But see, folks know for the most part the type of person that I am. You can come to me and tell me something, but yet still I'm going to listen to everything that you got to say. But you best believe I'm going to do my due diligence and research. And I'm going to figure out and try to come to my own conclusion. I'm not saying or discrediting anything that you say, but I'm going to basically still do my due diligence and actually research to figure out what the real deal is. Because I guarantee you there's going to try to be a lot of cover up. But from my understanding is that, they've already shipped the body back to the United States. And basically, the parents wants to, I guess, get to the bottom of what's going on. And again, rightfully so. I mean, what would cause a female to, first of all, they said that she was drunk. And I think that the whole thing may have been a setup. That's just me talking. That's just me speaking, because basically they're saying, I guess, that she was drunk and I guess she was unable to, defend herself. That's the reason why I guess she couldn't get up to fight or whatever the case may be. Now, again, I could be, if I'm wrong, then hey, it is what it is. Again, this is just news that I've heard so far. So, don't kill the messenger. I'm just going off of reports just like you, that I'm reading and hearing about on social media. But it's just a sad fact that, again, that not only, do black men don't, value other black men's lives, you got these females, they don't even value their fellow sisters' lives. All they look at, they keep sizing each other up. And the thing about it all has to do with social media. It all has to do with, the content that we are constantly being exposed to, as far as who has the best this, who has the best that. Oh, you're nobody if you don't have a man. And the thing about it is that the man could be playing both of them. Got both of them looking like idiots. But yet still now, you got one of them that actually thought that the man loved her so much that she had to eliminate the competition. I mean, come on. With black females, I'm going to be real. Most of them, I would say, and I can say this with confidence, they are, for the most part, almost all of them are insecure. They're insecure. Because any confident person will not even find the need to even look at somebody and look at them as a competition, because they already value and know what they have to offer. And they are pretty much content or I should say, they are content with what they have to offer, to the fact that they don't even consider about what somebody else is bringing to the table, because they know that what they have is already enough for them. And they're doing the best that they can. And it doesn't matter what somebody else got to say. But because, again, they want to feel accepted, they want to feel needed, they want to feel validated, they have to, eliminate somebody who they feel is a threat. That's why I sit back and I study people. I mean, and the thing about it, you could sit up there and say, we are girlfriends. We have the best friends. We go out and spend time with each other every day. We go out shopping or whatever. Even behind all the ha-ha and the kikis, there is a bit of deception there. They're sizing that person up. They're looking at the fact of what they have as comparing to what they got, and they're figuring out a way of how they can get over on the competition. It is. That's what it boils down to. That's why, you know, it's a very sensitive and a very tricky situation when you are running into black girls. And I'm not saying that all of them are like that, but when you have some of them that actually they call themselves quote unquote best friends. Again, I don't like that word friends. I mean, as I began to grow older and begin to mature, you know, again, you look at things in a different light. And you look at things and you see, now that's not to say that there's not people out there that are friendly that don't have any agendas, but with this day and time and with this newer generation, it's few and far between. It's like almost everything now is all about competition, wanting to look good, wanting to pretty much get validated. You know, you don't feel that you're worth anything unless somebody tells you you are, you know. And it's like, I don't have to wait for somebody to tell me that I'm the bomb. I know that I'm the bomb. You don't have to tell me. I'm not saying that I'm trying to be high-minded or whatever, but I value and I love myself enough to the point that I don't have the time to consider what somebody else got or don't have, because I'm all about me. But it's just, you know, sad that the world has lost a beautiful young lady at the hands of jealousy, at the hands of competition, and all of this type of stuff. That's why it's like, I don't understand what's going on, where society, where it's gone wrong. But then again, I do know it's social media. You got some people, again, that are so weak that they don't even need to have a social media account. They believe everything they see and hear. They believe everything that's out there. They believe that if they do this, they can get a man. If they do that, they can keep a man. They will do exactly what they think that should be done, and don't understand that they're putting their lives in danger. And if they get caught, their freedoms are going to be taken away for the rest of their lives. But then again, they don't care, because again, this generation, they don't think. They act first and then maybe think later. But to sit up there and actually do that to somebody, that, and all because of what I believe is jealousy and competition. I mean, come on, you're not going to be that brutal on somebody, you know, if you don't really think much of them. I mean, you may slap them and move on, but that would be the end of it. But to go there and put that extra knife in the back by doing all of this, kicking them while they're on the floor and knowing, and they can't even defend themselves, and you're still going into the jugular and wanting to make sure that they are no longer alive. I mean, come on. That means right there that you thought that they were competition and you wanted to get rid of them so you can have whoever all to yourself. I'm going to tell you something. Whoever, and I pray that they make arrests, and I pray that they prosecute everybody who was involved in it. Everybody. Because nobody deserves to lose their life. Not like that. Not in that fashion. No. Black or white. It does not matter. I don't understand. But I just kind of figured that I wanted to get this rant off of my shoulders, because this was a video that I actually wanted to do, you know, once I learned about these recent events. I was going to do a video about the Black Lives Matter, but the issue is that with this new issue that came up with this young lady, you know, I figured that I would go ahead and just get this video out since it was still fresh on my mind. I'm going to get ready to get up and get on with my day. You all be blessed, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Cabo to celebrate one of their birthdays. But only 24 hours after arriving, their friends called Robinson's mom frantically, saying that she passed away from alcohol poisoning and that they couldn't find a pulse on her. But further autopsy from the Mexican FBI found that Robinson had a broken neck and her spine was cracked. Her friends all came home and privated their accounts. Now, I won't show it, but this is what's driving me crazy. Now, supposedly there's a video of Shanquella in one of the Airbnb rooms naked while getting hit on multiple times by one of the friends, but not fighting her back. And the person behind the camera asking, "Why aren't you fighting back?" She simply replies that she doesn't want to.
Quilla, can you at least fight back? At least something? At least fight back, something?
Get up, bro, get up!
She had a heart of gold. She didn't mistreat nobody.
This whole situation angers me. Now I pass the question on to you. What do you guys think happened to Shanquella? Like and follow for more updates on this story.